Welcome to Keepin' It Real, where we feature entrepreneurs and enterprise leaders who share their great ideas in our guest blog on shareyourstories.online. Our guest is Jackie Lapin, who is an award-winning marketing expert who connects speakers with their audience by getting them booked using her ultimate Speaker Toolbox. We're going to discuss how to find the right crowd for your message. And Jackie joins us today from Westlake Village in California. Welcome.
I'm delighted to be here, Trish. Thank you for inviting me.
You know, one of the things I've really been looking forward to is as a speaker myself, I think we're all taking a look at sort of reconnecting with our audience, and maybe things have changed significantly in the last little while where we may have taken a bit of a hiatus. And I loved on your website where you had this tab, I have no idea how to get started. And I thought that was really brilliant, because whether you're a seasoned speaker or not, I think sometimes we all ask that question. So if I was to click on, I have no idea where to get started, what would I find on your website? How could you help?
Well, at SpeakerTunity, we're going to direct you into the right resources for you. We're going to give you directories for all kinds of speaking gigs. We're not just talking about live and virtual speaking. We're talking about podcasts, radio shows, virtual summits, virtual networking, TEDx's, and live and virtual speaking. So, we are going to direct you to which of those directories are going to work for you. We're going to give you training programs on how to book yourself, even in the corporate marketplace, all different venues. We're going to give you tools like Speaker One Sheets, or your speakers and handouts, or your slides, or all of those resources. And then if you don't want to do all the booking yourself, we have a great strategic partner, Book For You virtual assistants, and they will actually do the booking for you. So you get your directories from SpeakerTunity, and then they actually can go pursue those for you if you don't have the time to do it yourself. And one other thing that I'm really excited about, we're about to launch our conference connections. So if you're looking for conferences, we've already got 1,500 conferences in that database that we're building, so that as people will come on, as a monthly subscriber, you're going to be able to take advantage of that. And as things evolve here very shortly, a lot of these things are going to be bundled into a membership program. So it's going to make it really simple for you to say, I want all of those, and not have to pick and choose.
So you're really like the one-stop shop. You're like a booking agent for this speaker who's maybe, very seasoned or just getting into that part of the business.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is the area we don't do, just so your clients and listeners know. We don't book professional speakers who are looking to get paid on stages consistently. If your business is speaking, as opposed to building a business using speaking, then we don't serve you. But if you're building a business using speaking, that's our sweet spot. Speak to sell stages, or speak to enroll, as I call them, and conferences that are both paid and unpaid, but are designed to funnel people into your business.
So what if I'm a podcast host, and, often hosts are always, scrambling to try to find guests, or try to find the right guests, the ones that sort of have that strategic connection to your topic. Now, as a podcast host, can I also approach your organization and ask to be included in that roster of listing?
I am so glad you asked that. Yes, you can. Not only is if you're a podcaster, but if you have a virtual summit coming up and you're looking for guest presenters, or you need speakers for your events, and you have a giveaway that you want to get participants from, all 4 of those, just go to speakertunity.com/submissions, and you can submit them there, and we'll put you into the right mix wherever it is, and help you get the right kind of guests or participants or collaborative partners that you need.
Well, most of us have had a life before what we're currently doing now. And I must admit that I went to your About Us page and I took a look, and I was very impressed with the fact that you were one of the very first female sports writers. And so talking about breaking barriers and being a maverick for women in business, you've clearly been doing that for a number of years. So would you share with us a little bit of your insight? What was that experience like? Because clearly being one of the first in anything is a little bit awe-inspiring when you're, on the other side of it. So tell us a little bit about that experience.
Well, I say that I'm a serial pioneer. There is something in me that says, go this way, don't listen to what society, just do what you're guided to do. And so I, as a child at 11, I really wanted to have something of my very own. And I loved the Los Angeles Dodgers and I love writing. And I said, I'm going to put those two things together and I'm going to be a sports writer. And so, as you said, at 20, I was at the Detroit Free Press. 21, I was at the Associated Press and on the front pages of the Los Angeles Times. And 22, I was at the Washington Post. And with a little stint in there co-hosting the Dodger pregame show here in Los Angeles. So, I really feel that passion. And it was great fun because, I made national television. I got the job in Detroit because I won the baseball writer scholarship and it was broadcast everywhere. So being a pioneer was just a lot of really fun. And then when I went on from there, I launched one of the two leading sports special events and cable TV PR agencies in America. And for 20 years, I had a world-class client list. And for me, what was really fun was we do the 75th anniversary of the National Hockey League. And I'd be flying home from Canada where we launched it with the, Canadian teams. And they're on the airplane. I'm opening up and seeing on CNN, there's all of our video footage or opening Sports Illustrated and seeing our cover stories. Or when I launched the worldwide poker phenomenon, I got us on 60 Minutes and here was on the front pages of the Wall Street Journal. I mean, those were fun days. Those were really fun days, when I could see the real results of our work. But my passion is serving those people that are making the world a better place, that are delivering their skills, their abilities, their stories to others to help them live a better life, grow their business, have more meaning. And so that's when I rebranded my company as Conscious Media Relations. And we started doing what has been the core business for us for 12 years, which is radio podcast tours, where we introduce authors and leaders to 9,000 radio shows and podcasts. And you can look that up more at Conscious Media Relations, where you'll see 80 testimonials, including people like Don Miguel Ruiz and Ariel Ford, and James Twyman and Joe Vitale and Kristen Janet Atwood and Maureen St. Germain. We have a specialty also in serving anybody whose business improves one's life, one's business to the planet. We're still in the business of making the world a better place. And SpeakerTunity came about because some of my clients said to me about 5 or 6 years ago, hey, can you book me for speaking gigs? We said, we don't want to do that. You know where they are, so let's tell you where they are. And that's so our first subscription service on SpeakerTunity was born. And that's been going on for 5 years now. We've got over almost 500 people in our 4 subscription services. And they continue to grow. So it's great fun just being out there creating and bringing things to people that serve their needs.
All right. So now I'm totally intimidated as a speaker because I've just heard you ramble off the Reader's Digest version of your career, which is very stellar. And so now I'm thinking, oh, geez, like if I'm going to work with Jackie, she's going to think that I'm, this nobody from nowhere. How on earth am I going to be able to craft a message that she can help me with? So what are some of the things or some of the qualities that perhaps you might look for in a speaker so that you can help them connect the dots?
Well, let's first establish the fact that I'm not a speaker trainer. That's not our expertise. Our expertise is helping you get booked. But in our resource collective that's coming here very shortly, you're going to be able to find tons of speaker trainers that will up-level your speaking. We have some very simple tips. Make sure that you have a compelling presentation. You practice it locally. Get out in stages, and a really good way to practice your speaking is do a lot of podcasts. Right. Get to the point where you really got your message down, because you're and if you're giving your host questions to ask you, you're going to be answering the same questions all the time. And all you have to do is take those questions out and it's going to be, what you're going to be delivering on stage to a large extent. Right. And so you want to be confident, you want to come on stage. One of the biggest thing that people experience is stage fright.
Right.
You know, and if you are hesitating because you think that they're thinking about you and they're judging how you look, how you sound, you know, how good you are, all that other kinds of stuff, I got news for you. Get over it, because they don't care about you. All they care about is, do you have something that's going to change their lives, that's going to make a difference for them, that's going to up level their success, whatever that is. So if you step on stage from the standpoint of, I am here in service to these people, they need me, and I can help them because I know more than they do. So let me impart some of that information. Let me help them. If you step on stage from that standpoint, your butterflies will disappear.
Very true. And I guess too, you know, one of the things that we've all seen some really amazing speakers, right? And audience engagement is one of the things that they do really well. You know, they're able to engage the audience at a very early stage in their discussion. And you see all the heads nodding because there's some symmetry there, right? What they're offering, the audience gets. And so that's really good advice for folks. You know, I have often had someone who had said to me, you know, practice in front of the mirror. You know, your hand gestures and your facial expressions and all of that sort of thing. Because if you can get really comfortable and you can say, well, that's okay if you've made a mistake, then you're going to be even better on stage, because actually you're keeping it real. You become very natural, right, with your approach.
I think that's quite true. I also think that getting on stage and getting somebody to videotape you is really helpful. Yeah. Now, the first thing is, I'm going to tell you that if you just want to have somebody do it with your cell phone, that's perfect. But if you're going to pitch yourself, you need professionally done video and not from a cell phone. The sound has got to be good. The visuals have to be right. You need, you know, and you need to make sure that it is compelling, that it really shows you in your best light. So we always tell people, when you're submitting yourself in proposal letters, you need two things in addition to the 7 or 8 paragraph proposal letter. The first thing is a good video that's not more than 3 to 5 minutes. And the second and most important thing is the speaker one sheet. And the speaker one sheet is something that is two-sided, or digitally you send 2 pages. The first page is filled with your bio and a couple of testimonials and maybe your call to action. And on the back side, you're going to have 3 different presentations that you can offer to these speaker bookers that you're positioning yourself for, because not everybody's going to want the same thing. So you can either parcel out the same conversation for different audiences, rewritten different ways, if you're speaking to different audiences, or if you're speaking to the same community, but you have 3 different topics, that's also a way to do it. But your speaker one sheet's really critical. And it is something we help people with over at Speaker One Sheet, at SpeakerTunity. So you can go on over there and you'll see a little bit of information. And what we made it really easy is you can pick from templates, pick colors, and then fill in the form, and then we'll just get it right back to you. So we make things.
That's really great. That's a really wonderful service, because, you know, the first hurdle, I think, for anyone just starting out is the speaker one sheet, right? Because you know how critical it is and how important it is. We live in a visual world. So, you know, you have to have something that's visually appealing, that's going to catch somebody's attention. So,
well, and you can't put all the information into that pitch letter. Right. You can't overburden it. They won't read it. So when you put it in this sheet, it gives them more breadth and more understanding, and up levels you as a professional. And here's the good part: when we do it, you don't even have to know what to put in there. We'll tell you exactly what to put in there. It makes it really simple.
So in terms of making connections with the speakers, and obviously you have your website has a lot of various different offerings, and you've just mentioned that there's going to be some new additions to that will be coming out in, recent months. But is there a particular type of speaker that is in your niche that you can significantly help those above and beyond others?
Well, we say that our audience are experts, speakers, authors, coaches, and entrepreneurs. Now, I know that's wide, but it's kind of niche wide. We know who our niches are. And, and it's, again, defined by the fact that, do you need to get in front of an audience to grow your business? Now, if you're not doing that, and you're in one of those segments, you're missing the boat.
Right. Because
speaking is the fastest way for people to get to know, like, and trust you and want to buy from you. So it's, it's the fastest path to cash You know, if you're looking for a one-to-one and you're selling people into a service, a coaching program, a product, a resource that's going to help them. If they see you, they're going to buy.
You know, that goes to the point of credibility, because one of the things that I recently read was websites now should have a video component, and the video component should be the person speaking about their offering. And so when you take a look at that, almost every single person on the planet at some point in time is going to have to speak. And if video is becoming that prevalent on a website, then even that 3 to 5 minutes, you want to have something polished so that you can make the right connections with your target market. So that's really great advice.
Yeah, we always have videos on each of our pages, and you know, designed to make people know that this is a company that cares about you.
Right.
You know, we're here to serve, and we want to make sure that you really have a clear understanding of what we're providing, and that this is not just an amorphous, you know, corporate giant that, you know, doesn't give a rat's ass.
Well, I think, Jackie, one thing's for sure is that when you visit your website, and having had an opportunity to speak with you, what comes out loud and clear is that you're really trying to help folks find their own niche, whatever that may be, and to be able to give them the confidence to put their best foot forward. Now, one of the things that we do in the guest blog is we ask folks to provide 3 words of advice. And I love that you put in brackets, yours is 4, follow your inner guidance. Why is that important to you and your team?
Well, because there's always something that's pushing forward through us. And if we pay attention to it, that's when things turn golden. I say that I follow God's breadcrumbs. And when somebody is starting to tell me, when I'm starting to see repetitive patterns, like, can you book me for speaking gigs like 6 times when or 20 times when I was starting this process, there's something that's trying to get through. And so if you listen to that inner guidance, if you hear that the universe is trying to tell you something, and you're not just listening to what other people tell you, you're going to find it an easier path, more successful, and you're going to be happier.
Well, that's a really great way for us to wrap up our conversation, because I think what's really important and has come across loud and clear from our conversation today is not only is speaking a clear path for success, but you and your organization are really wanting to help folks put their best foot forward. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today.
Trish, thank you so very, very much. I so appreciate it. And I just want to encourage everybody, don't hide your light under a bushel. There are people out there waiting for you, and they need you. And thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this.
Thank you so much. To you, our viewing and listening audience, I'd like to thank you for joining us in this edition of Keeping It Real, where we introduce you to the person behind the logo. I'm Trish Tonai, founder and host for the series. And if you're interested in sharing your business story, visit our website at shareyourstories.online. Thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to meeting you next time when we share another great idea.